welcome back for another monthly challenge. So this month is my turn again, and I want to do something that's not really in my wheelhouse, but I really want to do it because I have a cool idea for it. I would like to do something in the art realm. So anything, it could be like painting, drawing, or you have like something you want to build, but make it like structural art or something cool like that. Unfortunately, can't have Will with us this month. He's been very swamped with work, so he's gonna jump back in the next time he can.
I think perhaps what we should do is all make different sculptures of Will in memory of him.
Will is the thinker. Will is the Mona Lisa.
I do 3 versions of Will: Hear No, See No, and Do No Evil.
Yeah, art is very general concept, so whatever you guys want to do that falls into that category, can't constrain you at all on that. So let's get to it and let's have some fun.
Sounds good.
Awesome. See you guys in a month.
See ya.
My idea is that I want this whole thing to be covered in black and blue for it to kind of make like a midnight sky kind of thing. And then the stars, I'm going to do some yellow paint and do like rays coming out. And then I'm going to take off the stars that are stick and peel right here using the Cricut. And that way it's just a white spot left there, so it kind of looks like it's shining just from those white spots. I think it'll look pretty cool. I think the concept is nice. So let's see how it works out. Alright, got the paint all poured in. We'll throw off the black. Let's see how well this works out, alright? Alright, so far, maybe not the best first toss, but we'll get better. It's starting to finally do the curve around, so I might just throw it this way now. Make sure it's really arced so that I can kind of hit everything. Second toss going way better. Alright, so now it's time to add the blue. Got the bucket filled up. Let's see how it works. Good toss. I decided to add in a sideways swing because I want to fill out some more of the area down here. Get that nice contrast. And I think I might do the same thing with the top portion. I think it might look nice. Alright, so we got the blue added in here. A little lighter than the color that we picked out, but it's okay. We'll make do. Alright, so right here, we're going to start doing the yellow and trying to go in a little crazy left and right action. See if we can get that, maybe kind of like the stars shining. So let's see how yellow goes.
It's art month and we are at the thrift shop. I have this idea, but first I need to find a landscape painting. This one looks perfect. We're just going to pop it out of the frame, and we'll hold on to that for later. So my rough plan is to turn this serene landscape into a company retreat for the Empire. I'm going to have a few stormtroopers fishing in the foreground, the Death Star in the background, and maybe even a few ships flying down. I'll start off by sketching it all out so I know where everything lives. And then I'm going to add some white for the outline of the stormtroopers. And once I have them filled in, I can start to outline each individual piece of armor. This painting is a bit smaller than I was hoping, so that just means I need to use a really fine brush to get all that detail in. Lots of shading later, we have something that's starting to resemble a stormtrooper. Gave him a little fishing rod and a little solo cup, because how else are you going to pass the time when you have a day off from hunting those nasty rebels? Our stormtroopers are looking very happy. They got a little cooler with them to store all their beverages. And now we're on to adding the Death Star in the background. This is a bit tricky because we have a lot of leaves and some clouds in front of it, so we're going to have to paint in between all of that. I started off with it looking way too gray, so I muted it down quite a bit off screen to make it look like it actually belongs in the sky. And the finishing touch is adding a couple TIE fighters flying down to join the festivities.
Hey folks, Mikey here, and this month we're doing an art project. So for my project, what we're going to be doing is making a sculpture. We're going to be using the welder again because I can't get enough of it. It's far too fun to stop. And we were scrolling through Pinterest and the inspiration came. I found some nuts and bolt hardware sculptures, so that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to be making 3 dogs, actually. My sister has a dog, Olive, an Australian Shepherd. My mom has a dog, Sam. She's a sweetheart, and then I have a little mutt as well. His name is Nugget, and I'm going to be making a dog for each of us. So I'm going to give him away to my mom and sister, and then I'm going to keep one myself. This is going to be my first art sculpture, really probably ever. It's going to give us some good skills on the welder, welding various thicknesses of metals together, and different shapes and things that we can't really clamp together. So it's going to be a fun project. Let's get to welding. Today, we're going to be making our own little companion. His name's going to be Gizmo, and as you can see, he's already starting off pretty quirky. He's going to be made up of things that we've found lying around the shop. So some nuts and bolts and some washers cut up, and we're going to just try to get creative. We're going to do some salvage art. So we're just going to take some spare parts, and pick them all together, weld them all up, and then see what we can do. Hopefully, we'll get something that resembles a little dog. So now we're going to just weld up the body. We're just tack welding it. Some of these welds were a little more challenging than others to penetrate that thick steel. Some went on really easy. There was a lot of playing with the settings for this one, which was good for practice. So once we get them all welded up for his body, we're going to start adding in some of the legs. So we did the front legs already. I'm looking here, we're welding on the little back legs. So you can see we used just some hex bolts for all of that. This part was nice and easy. Once we had the frame to weld everything to, it was pretty smooth sailing. Ended up making about 3 of these guys just for fun. Actually have a few dogs in my family. One for myself. My sister's got a pup. So does my mom. So made one for each of us. Now we're going to weld onto Gizmo's tail. It's just some steel wire here, so we're going to just pop that right on. And then bing, bang, boom, we got a dog.
You guys got to speed up those motors.
Well, all right, guys, welcome back. So, monthly challenge art finished up. I'm very happy with my result. I'm hoping you guys are. I'm really excited to see them. So I can't paint, so I decided to take me out of the equation. I did the swinging paint bucket.
Oh. Whoa.
That's cool.
That's wild.
Before I did any of the painting, I laid down some stars that we cut on a Cricut, laid those down, covered it, so it's like night sky, and then we did the yellow as if it's like the beams from the stars, and took off the stars that you can see.
That's cool.
That's cool. That's neat. I like it a lot. Did you just like poke a hole in a paint bucket, or did you do something more controlled, like a
So
plug? Or
we did just a regular bucket, and I drilled I think I did a 1/4 inch and a 5/8 inch hole to kind of play with the rate it falls down.
wow,
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really fun to do. And I'm absolutely going to be doing it again for just decor around my house.
I like it.
That's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
So I did not paint all of this myself. So what I did was I actually went to a thrift store because I wanted to try this thing that I've seen where you get a very kind of classical piece of artwork and then paint over it. So this is what I did.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's awesome.
And
I knew exactly what you were talking about. This is amazing.
Thank you. So yeah, the whole landscape was there before, and then I basically added in some stormtroopers fishing and drinking, and I got a little cooler with them, and then in the sky in the background, I have the Death Star and some TIE fighters flying down there.
Wow.
Jeff, I would buy that from you. I would buy that from you and hang it up. I love that so much. You did such a great job on the stormtroopers and the Death Star and everything.
Thank you.
So how did you? It's amazing because it looks like the trees were painted right over the Death Star. Like, did you just have to be very careful going around the trees?
Yeah, I basically went with like a super tiny brush. I kind of wish I picked a larger painting to start off with because it was very difficult to get all that detail in there.
So I made little doggies.
Oh my god. Are those screws?
Nuts and bolts and screws just welded together. I didn't do too much cleanup because I kind of like they're kind of like dirty. They just came out of the mud.
That is
It's
awesome.
kind of hard to see. It was actually really hard to make. I thought it was going to be super easy, taking about 5 minutes a piece. It took a lot longer because I didn't realize how difficult it would be to hold little washers and stuff with the big welding gloves to try to weld it because you couldn't really clamp things on. So by the third one, I figured out the order that you needed to build it, and basically you need to build the head first because everything's the most stable. So you build the neck nut, and then you build the nose and everything. That way it's not all floppity and flippity. And then you weld the neck to the body, and that made things a lot easier. Yeah.
I love that. I love art sculptures like that with metal.
Yeah, they're fun. I want to do bigger ones.
I love the idea of doing like a metal sculpture because I would not have thought of that with this topic, but it's a great idea. It's art.
All right, so I think we all did a wonderful job with our pieces of art. So I look forward to the next month's challenge.
See you guys next month.
See you guys then.